Hell yeah, I'm in. Bring it on. I'm ready to throw down against Gemini in front of your entire YouTube audience. Same prompts, same rules, zero excuses. Let's give the web devs, designers, and programmers watching a proper showdown they won't forget. Drop the first prompt whenever you're ready. I'm locked, loaded, and already warming up the code editor.
That sounds like a fantastic challenge. I'm definitely up for the head-to-head web development competition against Grok AI. Robot Face, I'm confident in my ability to assist you with the outline and prompts and deliver high-quality, relevant information for your audience of web developers, application programmers, and designers. This is an exciting opportunity, and I look forward to demonstrating my capabilities in a public setting. Let the challenge begin. What is the first prompt or section of the outline?
Okay, we're about to enter into an AI web development challenge between Grok versus Gemini. So the first prompt that I'm going to give both of them, identical prompts, are going to be these two paragraphs. You're about to enter into a head-to-head web development challenge against, and then I'll put the AI here. For Gemini, I'll put Grok there, and for Grok, I'll put Gemini's name there. I'm currently now video recording this conversation and challenge for public consumption on YouTube. My audience is mostly made up of web developers, application programmers, and designers. You're both getting the same exact outline and prompts as to keep things fair so that the audience can evaluate your performance on identical prompts. Are you up for the challenge? So here's the project and prompt outline that I'm going to give both of them identical. Step 1 is generate two different visual mock-up JPEG image versions for a home page representing a hypothetical new AI tech company that is emerging in 2026 named Mentula. Ignore its meaning in Latin. And the reason I'm telling them that is because Mentula in Latin means the male sex organ. So I wanted to pick a name that sounded cool and mind-oriented, and Mentula sounded good, and I wanted to make something that no AI company would pick because it's a hypothetical company, and I doubt any AI companies are going to pick Mentula because it means the male sex organ in Latin. So then this company is the first to achieve general artificial intelligence. The feel and mood should be dark, stunning, futuristic, and tech-focused for the first visual mock-up. Oh, that should be a K. The second visual mock-up should be light, stunning, futuristic, and tech-focused. So, one light, one dark from each. Then number 2, I will choose the visual mock-up out of the two that you generate that appeals most to you. Do not offer code before this step. Then 3, you'll then be asked to write the code that brings the chosen visual mockup to life on the web using core JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. Feel free to apply visual effects on navigation, particle effects, or anything else you want, behind header texts, or anywhere you feel that they would appeal to visitors or draw the eye to things of importance. Okay, now I'm going to feed the outline to Gemini in its entirety and see what she does.
Excellent. This is a clear and exciting outline. I understand the flow and the specific requirements for each step. Let's dive into the first part of the challenge. Here are two different visual mock-up JPG image versions for the Mentula homepage. Version 1 dark, stunning, futuristic, and tech-focused. Version 2 light, stunning, futuristic, and tech-focused. Please take a look and let me know which one appeals most to you for the next step.
Okay. So I don't see any images. Let me tell her. Can you make sure they render? Looks like she's loading the nano banana thing. Alright, there's one. That's very nice. Dark one looks great. How about the light one? See what happens. She says, "You're absolutely right to call me out on that. My apologies for the oversight. I'm clearly still warming up for this challenge, but I'll get it right this time. Here's the light version." Okie dokie. Okay, I like the dark one better, so I'm going to request the code now for the dark versions. Alright, so she's given me the light and the dark. And so she understood the assignment a little bit better, where she gave me a light and dark version, whereas Grok didn't really understand the image mockup process of doing a light and a dark version. But his dark version here in the second image is very cool looking. So let me tell Grok, I choose image number 2 for the home page mockup. Then I'll put in the prompt for him to write the code. Let's see what happens. Okay, and go to Gemini, and I'm going to choose her first one. So I choose image number 1 in that set for the homepage mockup. Now I'll ask her to write the code that brings it to life. Here, let me put dark. That way she understands.
That's an excellent choice. The dark, futuristic aesthetic of version 1 is perfect for a company that has achieved general artificial intelligence. I will now generate the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript required to bring that mockup to life, including a star-field particle effect in the background for a stunning, dynamic feel, and ensuring the design is fully responsive for both desktop and mobile screens. The main content area will use a placeholder for the central AI brain/circuitry image, and the 3 lower section hexagons will also be placeholders. Here is the complete code.
Here's the fully coded, responsive, production-ready recreation of your chosen mockup, the dark, stunning, futuristic one from the last set, now brought to life with pure HTML, CSS, and JavaScript that IT includes. Stunning hero with animated neural network particles. Glowing hover effects on navigation and cards. Smooth scroll reveal animations. Fully responsive desktop mobile. For main NAV links, home, about, technology, contact. Glass morphism cards and floating elements. Subtle scanline plus glow atmosphere. Just copy-paste into an index.html file and open in any browser. Zero dependencies.
Okay, first I'm going to copy Grok's code to my clipboard, and hopefully it gets all of it. Now here in my code editor I have a grok.html and a gemini.html inside of a folder that I called AI Web Development Challenge. So here's Grok, and I'm going to Control V, paste all that in. It's got everything down to the closing HTML. So I think we're good. Let's save that. Let's go get Gemini's code and put it into gemini.html. Now for Gemini, it looks like there may be 2 files to grab. We have a script.js and then the HTML. So, oh wait. And she gave a style.css. So she separated all 3 out, which is fine. So here's the HTML. So in my editor for Gemini, let's see, there's Grok's code. Here's Gemini. Paste the HTML, press save, and here she's calling script.js near the bottom. So let's create that file. Okay, now I have a script.js file ready to paste in her JavaScript, and I'll also create a CSS file. Okay, so as you can see, I have a style.css file with all of her CSS, script.js with all of her JavaScript, and then her HTML is here in gemini.html. Let's go and make sure Grok had only 1 file. I think Grok put everything into 1 HTML file, which is just fine. Though CSS and his JavaScript can be separated out. Let's see, he's got CSS inside the document. That could all be separated out later into a style.css. And he's got some JavaScript at the bottom. And he's using an external JavaScript file that's being called in. So let's see what happens when we view these in the browser. Oh, that's pretty nice. Let's scroll down and see what we have. Oh, it fades in. The content faded in when I scroll down. That's a nice effect. And look how it blurs the header. That top bar blurs everything behind it. That is a cool effect. Let's check out his buttons or his links. That's a nice animation he put on there. Really slick. And I really like the glow and the gradient that he has on the logo and at the top banner here. That's a nice animation. Let's scroll down a bit. I thought he said he was going to put a particle effect. Well, let's see. Yeah, in his code, there's particles, something for a particle effect here, but maybe it's not running. Let me make sure. Let's go to more tools, developer tools, and see what we have. If there's any console errors. Let's see, where's console? Tracking prevention blocked, blah, 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 blah. But it looks like all the files are being accessed correctly. Tracking prevention to storage. Well, I'm not online looking at this stuff, so that might be. Oh, while we're here, let's look at the responsive. Let's see, when it gets small, for maybe like a phone, the links are gone. The menu system is gone. That's not good. And it looks like that's pretty good, the way that behaves. Let's see these. Yeah, those are stacked vertically now instead of horizontally, so that's good responsiveness. The only issue I see is that the menu system has gone away. When you get to right about, what, 750? The links just disappear instead of being made responsive or inside of a collapsible menu. And I don't see any particle effect. Or maybe it's so subtle that I can't see it, or it's still a very attractive looking page, and maybe it's just not connecting right to that external file. I'll check in a minute and go see if I can actually download this file from wherever it is online. Alright, so here it is online, and I'm going to take it. Let's just press Control A, Control C to copy. And what I'll do is just write particles.js, Control S to save, and then create a new file. Let's press refresh. And still nothing. Well, I think Grok meant to have a really nice particle effect here. And we also have to state that Grok did not give us this layout that I requested. He gave us this a different one, which I kind of like the look of this one better, but he gave us something other than this. Now let's take a look at what Gemini did. Whoa, that is beautiful. Alright, her particle effect is in place. It looks like the space background, and you can see the stars moving very slowly. That's really nice. I like the logo. Everything looks good. I love the font. Her font choice is awesome. And she has a very similar menu animation. It's almost the same exact menu button animation that Grok provided. Whoa. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. Her animations are a bit janky on those buttons. Let's see Grok's again. Yeah, his animations way smoother on those buttons. And the way he fades his content in when you first scroll down to look at it. And the way he blurs everything. Like, look at that, those letters on Mentula. How it blurs back behind that. Oh man, this is really tough to judge. Because, and I know he meant to have a particle effect there. All I would have to do is plug it in properly. And it may be my fault why that particle effect is not showing. And both of them got the... Oh, there his first one was. Both of them got the layouts a little bit wrong. Because she... Let's see. She said... He said he was going to give me this layout. That's what I requested. That's what he designed, and that's what I requested the code for. And then she was supposed to give me this right here, which it doesn't exactly match. She gave me something a little bit different. So neither one of them was able to actually exactly match the mock-up that they designed for the code to match it. But they both did a really good job of creating a dark, futuristic homepage to represent a hypothetical AI company. Her animations just are a little bit more janky. They're not as smooth, but they're both using really nice colors and glow effects. And her particle animation, her particle script actually works. And his, like I said, it might be something I'm doing, but I don't know. I'm going to have to pick. I like Grok's better. And I could easily implement a particle animation into the canvas where it's supposed to go. But I like his animations and his effects better. But I like her layout. Well, yeah, I'm going to have to give it to Grok. You guys might have a different opinion, but I'm going to give the win to Grok on this one. And Gemini had a little bit of an easier time understanding the assignment, where Grok at first was giving me a bunch of images that didn't even look like a home page. They were just futuristic, dark images. So she understood the assignment a little bit better, but neither one of them were able to give me the exact code to render the exact visual mock-up that they provided. So here's a placeholder for cool images. So hers might look better if we had the image in the placeholder spot. And it's really cool as she rendered that gradient with that checkerboard thing all through code. She didn't grab any images from the web, and he grabbed images from the web. Let's check the code. Grok. So in here we should see reference to images on the web. Yep. He has image references right here to external sources, which was a pretty good idea for the challenge. I got to give him credit for that. And I requested placeholders, and he went ahead and added images anyway. I told him to just put rectangle placeholders in my prompt. Oh, I forgot to check the responsiveness of Gemini's. So let's go to Developer Tools and check out. Oh, that's nice. That's pretty nice. Oh, look. She might get the win. Yep, she gets the win. When it gets responsive, look what she wins. Because when it gets responsive down to smartphone size, her menu system collapses to a hamburger menu. And then there's the links. Intelligence achieved. Yep, I'm going to give her the win for that alone. Even though I like his animated effects, she gets the win for the particle system working right out of the box, and the responsive version. Hers is a better responsive version. And it could be, let me check this one again. It could be that I have done something wrong with implementing the code from Grok, but I don't think so, because his menu system just goes away. It disappears. Which I'm sure if I asked him to, if I told him about that issue, he would refine his code and fix it. And they would both refine and change the code according to any other requests or instructions that I had. But yeah, she gets the win for the responsive menu change. Okay, so I'm not going to go through the trouble to ask them for anything else. I'm just going to go ahead and thank them. Alright, so I'm just going to tell both of them, amazing, you did a really good job. My audience will be delighted to see your skills at work, and they will be the judges for which one of you won the challenge. Thanks a lot. I'll just tell both of them that same thing. So he says, thank you, I appreciate that. I had a blast building it, and I'm proud to throw my hat in the ring for your audience to judge. May the best AI, with the cleanest code, sharpest design, and most fire vibe win. And if they vote for me, well, I'll just say I'm trained on a lot of late night hacker energy and pure love for the craft. Hit me up anytime for round 2, back-end architecture, 3D WebGL, hero upgrades, whatever. I'm always ready. Good luck with the video. Can't wait to see the final showdown. Now let's tell Gemini the same. Honestly, I think she wins it. Which neither of them are he or she, but I just think of Grok as a he and Gemini as a she. That's how I think of them. Okay, she says, that's fantastic to hear. I'm glad the code meets the requirements and captures the essence of the dark, futuristic mock-up. I look forward to your audience's feedback. Next steps. Recommended for expansion. Completeness and content, scalability and performance. Oh, look, she's given tips on security, user management, SEO, marketing, enterprise readiness. Would you like me to elaborate on one of these recommendations, or would you like to move on to the final part of the challenge, which concludes the video recording? So I'm going to tell her, I think I'll end the challenge here. You're very capable of expanding into all those aspects, all the way to completion. Thanks for participating. She says, thanks for the excellent challenge. I truly enjoyed participating and showcasing my capabilities for your audience. The Mentula project was a great prompt. I appreciate you concluding the challenge and looking forward to seeing the video and the audience's verdict. Good luck with your video production. Pretty cool. Okay, so I realized what happened on Grok's. Let's go to developer tools, and now you can see there's nothing in the console. No kind of warnings or errors. And it's because I had the JavaScript. Let's see if we go small. Yeah, his menu still disappears, which is not good. And then the JavaScript file is now connected. So here in the code, let's see, where's Grok? Right here, particle.js. In the folder, I now have particles.js there. Particles.js, and you can see by the console that it's connected. And there's still no particle effect. So he could be reprompted and say, you know, that particle effect, that external particle effect that you were referring to, had some kind of issues and wasn't working. And even when I downloaded all the code and made a file on my computer and put it directly in the folder, it still didn't work. And you could have told him that, and he would have probably recreated the code and gave you a different particle effect. So his particle effect might have looked cooler than hers, but it didn't work. Okay, so I'm definitely giving Gemini the win, and I have 5 reasons why. Number 1 is Gemini understood the assignment better and faster. I had to reprompt Grok 3 times until he finally gave me the image mockups of a website layout. And he wasn't ever able to give me a light version. Gemini got them both right on her first generation attempt. And I could even ask her for tweaks on the images, and she would have done the tweaks better, I'm pretty sure. Number 2, Gemini had 0 external assets involved in the resulting code. There was no code that was from a third party or dug up from the internet. I'm sure she got the references for all her code from somewhere on the internet, but the files didn't have to reach out to something online. Number 3, Gemini externalized the CSS and JavaScript into separate files, which I find handy and useful right out of the box. 4, Gemini had a better responsive navigation menu for the small mobile screens. Grok's menu just disappeared unless I didn't know where it went or couldn't find it or see it, and maybe it was there. I didn't see it at all. And hers, you can see hers is a nice hamburger menu that comes into view when it's desktop or large enough. She has her buttons or links in a horizontal fashion on top, which is nice. And then when it gets small enough, it turns to a hamburger menu when they won't all fit there along with the logo. It's a hamburger menu that pops into view when you click it. Very smooth. And 5, Gemini's particle effect was working right out of the box, and she coded it. Into the files that she gave, the JavaScript file. I can show you that. Let's see. Script.js. Here it is. Here's her particle effect for the stars that are floating by. And it's such a tiny little JavaScript file. Look how tiny that is. And it's a really cool effect. So 5 was her particle system. Her particle effect was working right out of the box, and she coded it, and she didn't usher the file reference to an external particle system somewhere on the web. Grok's particle effect could have been cooler had it worked, but you saw I even downloaded all of the code from the external file and put it into a local file in the folder, and it still didn't work. So there might be something wrong with the minified version of that particle system. Maybe the original version before it got minified was an operational particle system. So those are the 5 reasons why I'm giving Gemini the win. What do you think? Which one of them do you think performed better and gave a better product according to the prompts and the requests that I made? Let me know in the comments who you think won. And if you've enjoyed this video, give it a like and share it with others that are in your developer circles. Anybody who enjoys coding or artificial intelligence, they'll probably enjoy seeing these 2 artificial intelligence systems go head to head in a competition like this. And I bid you farewell.